Hi. Hello.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Alright. Welcome to GH Prep Scholar, guys. And for today, in the video interview series with students studying in the US, I'm interviewing one other person today. So let's get to it. Introduce yourself to the audience. What's your name, your university you're currently studying at, and what country are you from?
Yeah. Okay. So my name is Favour. Currently, I'm studying at Favour University, and I'm in my final year. Originally, I'm from Nigeria.
Now, what high school did you go to in Nigeria?
Any Nigerians out there probably know this one. LJC, Loyola JC College. So computer science. I'm doing a double concentration, and one of my concentrations is in data science and machine learning.
Okay.
And then the other one, which is more the major one, is computer science and AI.
What the audience are waiting for. Since when did you have the desire to, come to the US or study in the US?
Oh, okay. So I mean, that one has been there since I even started high school.
Okay.
So in Nigeria, we start high school from 7th grade to 12th grade. Call it junior secondary school, senior secondary school.
Okay, same as Ghana.
But yeah, since I entered secondary school, it's because the way my secondary school works, everybody usually goes to an American, we study in Nigeria for the secondary school, and then the aim is to try and find an American university. So ever since 7th grade.
Oh, okay. So everybody in your high school already knows about the process, it's passed down or something like that. Is that how it is, or how is it like?
Yeah, it's not like there's everybody has a standard process. It's just kind of at the back of their minds that by the time you get to final class 12th grade, then you should, or 11th grade, you should start thinking about trying to find a school in the US. So they start to learn about the process kind of around that time, and it's usually by themselves. So, or most of them will go to Education USA. So that's where they get the bulk of their knowledge. But then, yeah, for the most part, everybody wants it's at the back of everybody's mind. After high school in Nigeria, then move over to the US for college.
Okay. Before, let's say 7th grade or something, when you saw someone or you heard one of your friends is going outside, or someone you know is going outside, or what did you think? What were some misconceptions that you had, or maybe you think people have of people that are in the US? How they get into the US? Did you ever have some misconceptions?
Yeah, I thought maybe you have to be extremely rich, in politics, only politicians' children.
Oh, so some ministers or members of parliament's children.
And I think back then I didn't even know people actually went to the US for study. I thought it was just holiday. So that's where it came from. You have to be really rich, to buy the plane tickets, and then you spend your holidays there.
Very similar concept. You at the back of your mind, starting from 7th grade, your plan was, finish high school, apply, and then get into the US. That was your plan of getting into the US. Or did you have a more solidified plan of how you plan to okay, I'll do this, and I know when I do this, I'll be in the US?
No. It was just kind of when I get there, just seeing that so many people do this on a yearly basis. I was okay, by the time I get there, probably not be too hard to figure it out.
Okay, I know it's very popular in the international high schools in our country, but in the normal public high schools, I think this will be very good for kids when they have seniors that have already been doing it. So it's at the back of their mind. Kids, before getting even into, let's say, senior high school, they already know that as soon as I'm done, I'm trying to apply to go to the US.
One thing I'll add is it's that mentality was kind of special to my school, and then some other schools. It wasn't it's not like every Nigerian for the public schools. I think it's the same.
Very same. Okay. Because I'm sure that the international high schools in our country is the same mindset. All of them, so some of them even write the A levels, all those things. They're either going to the UK, Canada. So it's they already So it was pretty similar. Okay, I get it. And even the consults in our country too. Most of them target these kind of schools. They go there and talk to the kids there. So it's these kids already and some of these kids already, their siblings or something are already there outside. So it's you already know what to do. But based on your plan that you had, was the plan successful? Was this you had to tweak it a bit, or what happened?
Yeah, I mean, most of the planning kind of came around that 11th grade, 12th grade time. I mean, my mom and my sisters, because I had sisters that were already in the US. They helped me to just kind of figure out stuff where to apply, what schools to apply to. I got in on the first try.
Okay.
But then depending on how things went, then I would have probably taken a gap year and tried again.
Okay, because that's very typical of most students. Like at least you even started in your 11th grade or so. Most students finish school before they tried. For me, for instance, I finished school before I tried it, so automatically I had to take like a gap period. So yeah, it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe question: do you ever regret your decision of coming to the US to study?
Oh, definitely not. Like I think it was definitely like a good investment and like a good decision I make for the path of my life.
Okay.
Because I think the education here is really good, but also the opportunities here, at least for the major that I've chosen, is really good.
Really good. Okay. What were some obstacles you were facing during the whole application process for you, and how did you overcome them? You can say any top 1 to 3 obstacles you faced, from application to studying for the SAT to financial, anything concerning it, to visa, anything.
The SAT and the exams. So most of like the curriculum in Nigeria is pretty different from what you have in like what the kind of questions that they ask in like SAT, especially for like English or like SAT subject tests.
Okay.
So it was like there was a lot of me getting to have to like relearn like a lot of things in a different way.
Okay.
So maybe if I had known, I might have started a bit earlier. Because like packing all that into my schedule is like, even though you get good scores, it's like you could have done better. And then there are some schools that like they groom you in that way.
Okay.
So that by the time you get there, it's kind of like taking just a regular test that you've taken in school.
Okay.
And then there your performance starts to shine better. But as for the actual applications, like I said, it was mostly my sister and my sisters and my mom that helped me do that part, because like I was still busy with like school stuff and like exams.
Okay.
So I think if I was like I didn't have like my mom and my sisters doing it, that would have probably been something that I might have struggled with doing alone.
Okay.
Because it would have just been me and then also having all the schoolwork by the side.
Makes sense. If you mind, if you want to share to the audience, if you ever took the SAT or ACT, what was your score and how many schools did you get into? Like whether with or without it?
Oh, I didn't take SAT, but I took ACT twice.
Okay.
So the first time was like in 10th/11th grade, and I got 28 out of 36. Then the second time was like 11th, 12th grade, and then I got 33 on that one. And so that was the one I used to apply. I did subject tests, but I don't remember the scores.
Okay, fine.
I think they were pretty okay, like normal. As for the schools, I didn't get into. I only got into one, and I don't know if that was because of the scores or because of the age. Because at the time I was applying, I was 16, so I don't know if most schools just didn't want like the 16-year-old on their hands.
And then even if you had 100 schools, you could only go to one.
Yeah.
How do you like it here since you're here?
It's nice here. Like there's obviously some misconceptions. I think in Nigeria we think that like the streets here are made of gold or something. Like it's a nice place in terms of the opportunities. Definitely a very nice place to be in if you're serious and if you put your mind to it. Like there's so much that you can achieve here, and then it's good because if you establish yourself here and you go back to Nigeria, you will do even better. So
makes sense. Have you had any internships, grad school offers, full-time offers, anything? How is it so far?
Yeah, so for the track that I'm in, CS, computer science, there's like lots of opportunities for internships during the summers in between your years in college. And then so far I've done 4 of those. So I interned first at Amazon, and then the next summer again at Amazon, and then at Rubric. And then my last internship was during the fall with Audible.
Okay.
And then so far, because this is my final semester, next semester I'm going to start full time.
Okay.
And then the offers I've gotten so far is Netflix, Amazon, and still waiting to hear from Google.
Okay. Oh, congrats.
Yeah.
Do you think you know which one you're choosing?
No, I'm still kind of just waiting. Google is like at the back of my mind, the one that I prefer the most. So
okay.
I'm waiting to just like have everything. So just still waiting on Google to see how that goes, and then I'll make the decision.
Then the final question then, for the kids watching here, I think there's probably someone here who has a dream of like being in your shoes or something similar. So if you had like a piece of advice you could give to that person watching you right now, back in Nigeria or Ghana or anywhere, what advice would you give to the kid?
I would give 2 pieces of advice. Okay. The first one would be, like just sit down, put in the work, and try and like at least for the exams, the applications, just try and do those really well. Because as I'm looking back, like even if I had done it completely by myself, I don't think it would have taken as much work as I felt it was taking when I was in that stage, right? And it's something that is like exponentially more beneficial to you than the amount of effort you put in. So I would just advise like sure, you have tests and exams and all that stuff, but that one is your future, and I think it's more important than like, because I'm not doing anything really with my test results from school or even like my YX score. Like even though like it's good and like yeah, sure, get your A's and everything, but this one is what you're going to need going forward if you want like really good chance to succeed in, like for example my field, computer science. I think going to the US is like one of the best places to go for that. So I would say yeah, just put in the effort and just kind of put the other stuff on pause if you need to. And then the second thing is when you get here, not to slack, because it might feel like, oh, this is the end goal, and then you finally reach here and then you're like, okay, now I can relax. It gets like more difficult, but then if you put in as much effort as you're putting, you will grow into it and then you'll be able to succeed in this field as well. Yeah, that's my advice.
To be very honest to the kids, is it possible for someone to sit down and actually go through the entire process of applying to schools and actually get a school on their own? Is it doable? Is it something doable, or are we just saying something that's just impossible?
No, I think it's very doable. I think it might even be easier than most of the other things that you're already doing. So I think, I don't know, the videos that you make, I think I've watched like a few of them. They point to like a lot of key misconceptions that people make. I think that just like if you sit down by yourself and then you have the information of what to do, I think it's like fairly straightforward. Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Favour, once again for having a video with these guys. And I think it's going to get better. Especially, I know a couple of audience are from Nigeria, but even Ghanaians, you can apply as well, honestly. And let me know, guys, if you have questions, to throw it our way at ghprepschool@gmail.com, or if you guys want me to make more video interview series like this with other students from other countries or other universities, please let me know, and stay tuned for more. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.